everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be my makeup monthly for the month of April, coming at you mid-month per usual. I'm going to be going through my favorites through the month, the products that failed me, and also the products that I thought were just fine. I do have a book recommendation this month to give you as well, and I always do a creator spotlight in this video, so we do have a lot to get through. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Alrighty, I'm going to start off with the fail category, and I tried a new foundation in April, and it did not work out so well for me. I did recently post a new ranking video, and I'm ranking 8 of my new foundations that I was trying out. So you do see this one featured in there, so I will have that one linked down below. It just went up the other day. But this one here is from Rimmel. This is their Stay Matte, a full coverage and mattifying foundation. Now, I definitely do not prefer full coverage or mattifying foundations. I'm kind of more of that medium preference, and I do prefer a more natural finish, and I do have dry skin. So I had a feeling that just because of what I look for in foundations, that we weren't going to work out, but this one was like kind of to the extreme. When I first squeezed this one out, it came out in like the thickest glob. It was really hard to blend into the skin. It was very, very heavy, and it looked like I was wearing a bunch of makeup. So unfortunately, this one from Rimmel, even though full coverage mattifying foundations aren't my thing, sometimes I can make them work, but this one just really had no chance for me. So maybe if you're oily, you might like that one, but for me, that one was a no-go. Next up, I have a product here from Jergens. Okay, so your girl turned 32 in March. And I don't know, I feel like I've been noticing things about myself that I'm like, not really impressed that you popped up. Who invited you to this party? And I've noticed that I have these lines on my neck, and I'm like, no. I know that, you know, that just happens as we age, but I'm like, how can I reverse that? So I was in my Octoly free store at one point. Octoly is a website that kind of connects bloggers and brands. Brands put on products that they want, you know, some reviews on. As a blogger, you can go in and request them and send in, you know, why you want to review it and where you'll review it, and then the brand can decide if they want to send you that product, and then if they do, you have a certain amount of days to review it. So I will have Octoly linked down below if you are interested in checking it out, if you're a blogger. I saw this one pop up in the free store, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna try this one out. This is from Jergens. This is the Skin Firming Neck and Chest Revitalizing Cream. I'm super disappointed that this really did nothing. I saw no effect with this one. It says it visibly smooths and firms and protects for a more youthful appearance. It's supposed to have collagen, elastin, and vitamin B3. It also does have sunscreen in here. This is an SPF of 15. So it's just in like this squeeze tube here. And if you can see, the product in here is very, very white. It applies pretty thick, and it does have that very sunscreen scent to it. But I really noticed no difference on my neck, and I use this twice a day very consistently for a month. I had it right next to me by my laptop, the place where I am most by at my desk, and I was very faithful in using this multiple times a day, and I really saw zero difference. So I was pretty bummed about that. I'm currently trying another one from number 7. I only got a few uses in before we moved, and it got packed up, so I just brought it back out. I'm gonna be trying that one again. I've seen a couple of reviews on it. It's like the line booster, so if anyone's tried that one, let me know your feedback, but I'm planning to hopefully review that in next month's Makeup Monthly and see if I even just notice any sort of difference, any sort of smoothing, any sort of whatever. Like, I don't expect the wrinkles to fully go away. I do want to say that. Like, I don't expect to all of a sudden have like an 18-year-old neck or something like that. I really don't, but I, you know, kind of hoped it would just do a little bit of something, and I just really saw no difference with this one, so I wouldn't be able to recommend that one from Jergens. Alrighty, so moving over to the fine category, I like to include the fine category mostly because I just like to review products. I think that's a lot of fun, but there are some products that generally I really do enjoy and I would recommend. It would just be lying if I was like, this is a favorite of mine, you know, so that's why I include the fine category. So first up, I do have these Colourpop Lux Lipsticks. These were from the spring collection. I did do a video trying out the Colourpop spring collection. I do have the Sweet Talk palette on my eyes today that was in that collection, so if you want to see, it's kind of like a really large swatching video. I do eye swatches, I do lip swatches, I do blush swatches on my face, so I will have that one linked down below. But I've been trying out these Colourpop lipsticks. I really do enjoy the shades. These 3 were actually sent to me from Colourpop. They sent me Tea Time, You're Thriving, and Spring Roll, and I've worn them all really consistently. These are all the cream lipstick, which is not a favorite of mine. So today I actually have on You're Thriving, and then I have a little bit of Spring Roll mixed into it, and I will will go ahead and swatch all of these so you can see them, but I do think that, again, the shades I think are absolutely gorgeous, and that's why I wanted to include them. But I will say the cream formula of the Colourpop Lux Lipsticks is not my favorite. I feel like they are so slippery. If it looks like my lips are like really overlined today, it's pretty much because they are. But when I am applying this, I just feel like I can just get it everywhere. I actually put on the lipsticks, then I took a lip liner to try to even things out, then I took some concealer and a lip brush and tried to clean up, which I almost never do. So I really prefer the Lux Lipsticks in the matte formula. I think that one is just easier to work with. They don't slip around as much, but again, I just really enjoy these shades. So this one is Tea Time, this one is You're Thrivin', and this one is Spring Roll. I love all three of them. I'm consistently wearing the shades. I love the coral tones of the Colourpop Spring Collection. Very beautiful. I love corals with my green eyes. I think that's fantastic. And a lot of times when I do coral on the eyes, I like to do some sort of monochromatic lip with it. So this is what I came up with for today's look. But I really, really enjoy the shades in here. Again, the Lux lipstick formula, just not an absolute favorite of mine, but I really do love those shades. Next up, I have some eye products to talk about. These are from Wonder Beauty. I did receive these in a PR package from Wonder Beauty. These are called their Exquisite Eye Liquid Eyeshadows. I just grabbed out a couple different shades here. I have Amber Wave and Steel Street in my hands today. So it was a few Will I Buy It videos back. I can link the actual one down in the description box. But I was wearing a couple of these liquid eyeshadows on my eyes, and I got asked so often what was on my eyes. I was really surprised because I went for a very natural look, and that was my aim with these liquid eyeshadows. I only used the Wonder Beauty eyeshadows in that look, but again, it was super natural. It was very, very easy. It was very quick to do, and I was very caught off guard at how many times I got asked what I had on my eyes. Also, if you're new to my videos, I do always, in every single video, I will link out what I'm wearing in the description box down below. So if you ever have a question on my eyeshadows, my lipsticks, foundation, highlight, anything, I do link them. I try to link my clothes. If I'm wearing jewelry, I try to link those. So I do try to link out everything in the description box, just so you know, and also, you know, link it if there's anything that you're interested in grabbing for yourself. So just wanted to throw that one out there. But I was really surprised. I kept saying it's the Wonder Beauty liquid eyeshadows, Wonder Beauty liquid eyeshadows. I've been really impressed with these. Again, this is why I like to have the fine category, because are these an absolute favorite of mine? You know, no. Are they going to become like my new staple in my collection that I reach for every single day? No. I don't reach for cream or liquid products a ton. And especially when it comes to eyeshadows, I generally tend to go for my palettes over these, but I still like a lot of them, and I still like to have some around in my collection. But I was really impressed with these, especially because they don't crease on me. That's one of my biggest kind of pet peeves with liquid eyeshadows, is I feel like they tend to get pretty creasy, especially, you know, some of them crease like immediately as you're applying them. You're like, okay, well now my eyeshadow looks like crap. What am I supposed to do? Some, you know, it takes a couple hours for it to crease on, but whenever I have worn these, I notice that I don't get the creasing on my lids, which I really do appreciate. I don't get any fallout with these. A lot of the shades that I sent weren't super like glittery, but they do have like a nice shimmer to them, which is really pretty, but I don't notice them kind of like fading or falling onto my face or anything like that. I felt like they were really easy to use and to apply. So you just have a little applicator like this, and I'll go ahead and do a couple swatches. So one that I pulled out is in Amber Wave, and you can see that this one is really gorgeously pigmented. It's like that deep bronze. I think that one is really beautiful, and I've worn this one quite a bit too. This one is Steel Street. This one is a little bit more lighter. It kind of has, it's kind of like a taupey shimmer, maybe I would say. So that one's been really pretty for all over the lid too. But I've definitely been really impressed with these from Wonder Beauty. Again, are they like an absolute standout of mine? Like, do I feel like everyone needs to run out and get these? No, these are $22. You can find Wonder Beauty at Sephora, but I've been liking them a lot, and I can see myself reaching for them with like a you know, really quick and easy look to throw together for the warmer months. I can see myself reaching for those quite a bit. So the last product that I have in the fine category is a lip balm. This one here is from Laneige. This is the Lip Glowing Balm, and this is in Grapefruit. I had one of my friends send this over to me, and I really like this. I kind of struggled for a bit because I was like, do I put it in the fine or do I put it in the favorite? When I was organizing my makeup collection, I have a bunch of makeup organized in the room next to me, which is where I spend the majority of my time. This here is my filming room, which is not done yet. It's coming along. I think this is like my third video I filmed over here. But I have all of my makeup organized in the other room where I spend the most time. My computers are in there, and this is one that I do have pulled out in with like my most used lip products. So I have some lip liners in there, some glosses, I have like a scrub, you know, my favorite lipsticks and liquid lipsticks, and then I do have this one there. So I do really like this one. I also really enjoyed that this one is $15. I don't think that's a terrible price either, especially for Laneige products, because they can get pretty darn pricey. But I do really enjoy this one. I think the Colourpop Lip Glossy is just a little bit more, like, it's a thicker lip gloss and it's a little bit more like nourishing, but I still think that this one is really nice. I still think that it's very hydrating. It doesn't really have a color to it like the grapefruit one has, like a slight bit of pink to it, but nothing too wild, where the Colourpop is a clear gloss. The one that I have is the clear one. I don't really smell a ton of grapefruit with this. I remember when I first started trying out, I think I was down with a cold or something, and I shared it on my Instagram stories, and people were saying, how does it smell? How does it smell? And I was like, I don't know, I can't smell anything because my nose, but really I can't really smell anything. And especially after I put it on my lips, I don't notice a scent to it, and I also don't really notice a taste to it. So just thought I'd throw that out there if you were curious about that. But I still really like this one. I would definitely recommend. It just was like not quite enough to be a favorite, but it was pretty darn close. Okay, so before I jump over into my beauty favorites, I want to do my creator spotlight. I've been doing this for a long time in my Makeup Monthly videos, and it's one of my favorite parts of doing this video. I love to be able to share other creators, to give some shout outs, and I just think it's really an important thing to do. I think it's a cool thing to do. So my creator spotlight this month is going to Hannah Louise Poston. And hopefully I'm saying her name correctly. I say that in every single video, but I never freaking ask how to say names. But I have been watching Hannah's channel for actually quite some time. I think I found her at, like, I'm gonna say maybe under 5K subscribers. I've been watching her for quite some time now. And I know that she recently hit 20,000, which was super exciting. I honestly can't remember how or why I found her videos, but when I started watching her, I just remember feeling kind of like a pull towards her. And so I, you know, very quickly subscribed to her channel, and I was very interested in her content. When I first started watching her, she was doing my no-buy year. So she went a year doing a no-buy, and it was really fascinating. And it's not just that she did a no-buy. A lot of her videos were really focused on that, like how she felt, you know, what she felt maybe she was missing out on, money that she was saving, you know, things like that. And now in 2019, she's doing her beauty budget year. So she gives herself a beauty budget for each month, and she really goes down and breaks down her beauty budget. And I just think her videos are super interesting. I also just really enjoy her demeanor. I love the way that she talks. And I just find myself, you know, there are some videos where you can watch, but like maybe you're kind of doing something else. Like when she talks, I'm like, tell me. I'm listening. And I just think that's really cool. I also just think that she's an incredibly nice person. I was going through kind of a difficult time a couple months ago, and she reached out. She was very nice. She, you know, talked to me about a few things that I was going through. She actually shared an article that she had written. She is also a writer, which I think is really cool. We don't write in the same realm, but you know, she's also another writer, and I very highly respect that. And I just was really grateful for her friendship, and just her taking the time to reach out to me. I think that's something that's a super nice and amazing. So I just wanted to give her a shout out, because I think that her channel and what she's doing is so interesting, and something that you don't see a ton of in the YouTube space. I mean, I think that she's very multifaceted, which I think is very super cool. So I highly recommend Hannah's channel. And like I always say with my creator spotlight, I also do send out a beauty newsletter every single month, and I have a short little Q&A with that creator in there. So May's newsletter has not gone out yet. Honestly, April's newsletter just went out last week. I got super behind, obviously, with the move and all of that, but April's newsletter just went out. So May's will probably be a few more weeks down the road. But if you'd be interested in reading that and seeing the Q&A with Hannah, I will have a link for the newsletter down below, of course. Alrighty, so moving over into my beauty favorites. So I definitely wanted to talk about the eyeshadow palette that I have on my eyes. I made reference to this one earlier, but this is from Colourpop. This is the Sweet Talk palette. I have truly, I know a lot of people don't like this word, but I have to use it. I have been obsessed with this palette. I have worn this palette so much, I just kind of can't stop. And I really haven't gotten a lot of new eyeshadow palettes as of recently, or a lot of new eye products. You know, in my most recent trying new makeup video, I didn't try anything new on the eyes. It was all products that were in my Shop My Stash, and I just was focusing on like face and lip products. But this palette, I'm just like, I'm glad I don't have anything new to work with or be trying out, because I can't stop using this one. I love so many of the shades in here, and the corals are my favorite. Again, this is all I have on my eyes today. I literally just have these 3 corals and then a little bit of this in the center of the eye as my just to kind of lighten things up. But I've used the Super Shock shadow, which is the second one there. That one's really pretty. The shimmers are really beautiful, and there are 2 pressed glitters, which isn't my favorite, but in a video not too long ago, I was wearing the early morning glitter, and I thought that that was really pretty, and I got a lot of compliments on the look. I just keep reaching for this. I love the corals right now. I love that that was the Pantone color of the year, and more brands are coming out with coral palettes. I'm like, yes, please, because I love coral, especially with my green eyes, like I mentioned earlier. I literally can't stop reaching for the Colourpop Sweet Talk palette. I love the Colourpop palettes. I think that they're amazing. I just highly recommend them. So definitely loving the Sweet Talk palette. I've also been loving a pair of lashes, and I think every single time I've worn lashes in probably the last month or so, they have been one pair of lashes that I keep wearing over and over again. But these are from Stilazzi. These are from their Chi Chi collection, and the lashes that I have been wearing are in Fierce. They sent me a couple different styles, and I just pulled Fierce out first, and I was like, I'll see what I can do here. They sent me like 2 of each style, which I thought was very, very nice. So I tried out Fierce first, and then I was like, I'm just gonna wear these until I can't wear them anymore, and then maybe I'll try another style, because I think that they are absolutely beautiful. So I cannot put these down. And these lashes are only, the Fierce ones in particular I know are $10. They have other lashes on their website. They're between $7 and $10, which I think is a fantastic price. I am an affiliate with Stilazzi. I've tried a lot of their products from brushes. I really enjoyed their eyeshadow palettes. I've tried some of their face palettes, but I am so impressed with these lashes, and I would highly recommend them. I do have a discount code with them. Like I said, I am an affiliate, so that is an affiliate code. It's Samantha, and I believe that they just upped my code to 25% off now, which I think is pretty incredible. I think it was 20% before, and now it's 25% that you would get off. I really hope that I'm saying that correctly. The code is just Samantha if you're interested in checking anything out from them. But if you are a lash lover, I would highly recommend lashes. And if we have the same kind of style, these Fierce ones are just beautiful. They're long, but they're not too much. They're not too dramatic, but they're very fluffy and full, and I just think that they're beautiful. So I can't stop wearing my Stilazzi Fierce lashes. Alrighty, and then I have another foundation. So like I mentioned, I did recently do that foundation ranking video, so I did review this one in here, but I still wanted to just give it a shout out because it has become a favorite of mine. This is from L'Oreal. This is the Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. I've just been really impressed with this. I have the shade 450. I love the natural finish to it. I love that it's lightweight and my skin just doesn't feel too heavy when I wear this one. Really enjoy the wear time on it, and it is a drugstore foundation, so it's a little bit more affordable as well. But I've just been so impressed with this foundation. And this was a recommendation from a bunch of you guys for telling me to try this one out, so thank you for that. Very impressed with that one. And then I think this is my last product that I'm going to chat about. Yes, so I actually have 2 more here to talk about, and these are both face primers, and these are from First Aid Beauty. Whoa, okay, these have been impressing me so much. So First Aid Beauty actually sent me over 3 of their primers. 2 of them were new, and then this one here is the Coconut Skin Smoothing Priming Moisturizer, and they also sent this one. They said this is a fan favorite, so I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Even though the other 2 are new, I still want to try this one because I've heard so many people rave about this foundation. This is a really, really nice one. So I do like a lot of products from First Aid Beauty. I first started trying out their skincare, but I also, I really like them because they're good for people with sensitive skin, which is definitely me. So these primers both say safe for sensitive skin, so I just wanted to point that out. But this one I really do enjoy. It does feel very hydrating on the skin, and because I do have dry skin, I really appreciate when I put this on. It's a nice smoothing primer. It's not the most smoothing primer ever, but the reason why I really am drawn to it is because it does feel nice and hydrating. Like, it feels like a nice moisturizer, but with a little bit more of an oomph. you know what I'm saying there? So I've been really enjoying this one from First Aid Beauty, but honestly I think the one that I like even more is this one here, is the Pores Be Gone Matte Primer. But like I mentioned, I do have dry skin, and sometimes I would kind of shy away from matte primers because in my mind I was just like, I don't know, are these really gonna work for you? Who knows? I actually do find myself enjoying matte primers more than I maybe thought that I would, you know, not even that long ago. This one I really like because it fills in pores so well. I've been kind of struggling recently with pores, especially right here. They can just get so large. So sometimes all I do is take just a little drop with this one and I smooth it here over my pores, sometimes a little bit on my forehead or on my chin, and then maybe I'll take like a spray. I did this in last Friday's video. I did the Too Faced spray and then put a little bit of this just in the section that I'm dealing with pores, and I feel like it's a really good combo. I've comboed these two together as well, and I think they work really well together. So sometimes I do that, but sometimes I do just take this and put this all over my face, and I think that it's really nice. Again, it fills in pores, but it also does, I can tell, kind of mattify the skin, and especially because I tend to be drawn towards natural finish foundations or radiant finish foundations, sometimes pairing that with a matte primer, I feel like they make a good balance. And sometimes like luminous radiant foundations, they kind of break up a little bit quicker, and I've noticed if I pair them with a matte foundation, I feel like I can extend the longevity just a bit with it. So I've been reaching for this one so often. I can't seem to put this one in particular down, but I also really do enjoy this one. So I know there's a lot of new primers coming out right now, but those are two from First Aid Beauty that I just really do recommend. So that is it for my beauty favorites. Like I said, I do have a book favorite to chat about as well, but if this is where you are ending the video, I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. But if you did want to get a book recommendation, I am also a book blogger and a published author. I'm really excited. I finally just wrote the end on book 8, which I am very excited about. It is just the first draft, so I still have a lot to do before I even start sending it off to my editor and my beta readers, but getting through the first draft was very challenging. I've had an insane amount of laptop issues. I'm on 4 laptops in like 4 months or something like that. I've had crazy technical problems, which has been super frustrating, and then of course throwing a move in on top of that. It's been a long time coming to write the end on this book, but I'm really excited to get into it and kind of clean it up and get it ready to send over to my editor. So very excited. Hopefully I'll have more news on book 8 coming soon. I do always have my books, my Amazon link down below if you're a reader and you want to check them out. I would love if you did. But I'm also a book blogger, so my blog is Chicklet Plus. I will of course have that linked down below as well. And every month in the Makeup Monthly, I like to throw in any of the 5-star books that are reviewed on my blog. 5 stars is the highest that you can review on Amazon. For the month of April, I do have just one to talk about, but I loved this book. Okay, so if you love chick lit, I think that you would like this one. If you're not familiar with chick lit, my blog is Chicklet Plus, so I'm a big fan of the genre. My 6th series is considered chick lit. It's kind of like women's fiction, but it's a little bit more lighthearted, maybe a little bit more on the humorous side, and I love the genre so much. But this is called If I Can Make It Here, and this is by Jamie Rose. So I'll have my book review linked down below, and I'll also link it to Amazon. So in here we follow Madeline Burke. So she's moving from Texas to New York, and she's working as an intern in a film publicity studio. So she gets to work with celebrities, she gets to go to, you know, red carpet events and all of that, and so she's kind of helping handle publicity and kind of learning the ropes. And I just had so much fun with this book. I made a comment, it's in my very first line of my review, that says, I've hit a bit of a rough patch with my reading choices lately, but this book came in at the perfect time to get me back on track. I actually didn't have any 5-star reviews for last month, which was very sad and pretty uncommon. So when I started reading this book and immediately got into it, I was like, yes, thank you. Good books make me so happy. But this one was so great. I loved the setting of New York City, and, you know, just watching another woman trying to kind of like find her footing in the big city. And, you know, she keeps making reference to, if I can make it here, I can make it anywhere, and that sort of thing. And of course we have romance in there. We have some like backstabbing, manipulating going on at work, which is really fun to read about. So you almost kind of had like there was like a mystery angle of like what's going on, who's causing this, and I actually couldn't figure it out really close until the end, but I thought that was a lot of fun. The romance angle is great, you know, trying to make friends in New York City. I also made a comment in my review that said, you know, I'm from Iowa, but I found this book extremely relatable because even though we're dealing with New York City and we're dealing with celebrities and, you know, this other world that I've never been a part of, I still felt like the main character and a lot of what she was going through was super relatable. So I highly recommend this book if it sounds like something that you'd be interested in or a genre that you enjoy. Highly recommend that one. I had a lot of fun reading it. But after that, that is going to wrap up today's video, going over my makeup monthly for the month of April. I would love to hear some of your thoughts down below in the comments, so please do leave me some so we can chat. But other than that, if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.